Okay, everybody, how's it going? Howdy, welcome. It's a night. Hi, welcome everybody. I couldn't sleep, so we're gonna do just chatting. I don't know. I might break out the guitar or something a little bit later, but for right now, I'm gonna eat this big ass cookie. That's really what I want more than anything. Also, why do I have no body? Why do I have no body? What's going on here? There we go. There we go. Okay. I don't know what's up. It's been a couple of days, hasn't it? That you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell. It's been busy. It's been busy. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of things happening out in the world. Out in the world, in life, you name it. That's just how things are. But yeah, hi. What's everyone been up to? Happy Monday. I guess technically it's Tuesday for some of you guys by now. I'm gonna eat this big ass cookie. That's gonna be my life right now. That's how my week's going. It was just yeah, there's been a lot that I wanted to do. Unfortunately, life comes at you fast, and between just having a lot of things spinning, a lot of plates in the air, it's been a little tricky. It's been a little tricky, but hopefully we'll be able to get some good stuff in this week. We've got quite a bit coming up later on today, here in about 4 hours. I'm not going to be streaming that entire 4 hours, but eventually the Panther Clipper comes out in Elite Dangerous, which we have not streamed in quite a while, so that's going to be on the docket. And then we've also got a live letter, I think on Friday. Unfortunately, one of the big things that's kind of keeping me back is the new work schedule. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do my usual like live stream. But I will probably hop into FF14 at some point around one of those days, just to kind of go over everything that we heard about. Where'd my music go? There we go. Just to kind of go over everything that we learned with the 7.3 part 2. So that should be fun. But yeah, starting I guess not really starting, but yeah, weekends are going to be pretty low for streaming. I got the new work schedule, so that's kind of where things are. And yeah, just kind of letting you guys know what's up. But we got a lot to do this week, so I figured, you know what, we'll ease into the week, ease back into a regular schedule at some point, and just do just chatting for tonight. But yeah, lots going on, so kind of excited. I'm ready for it. There is a spider on my monitor. It is very tiny. It's not a very frightening spider. It's he's just a little guy. He's just a little guy trying to hang out. I don't know where your little thread is, where your little web went. He wouldn't be able to bite much of anything. He's so small. He's like he's smaller than an ant. But hi, little guy. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. But yeah. Also, sorry if you hear like my fan. It is so humid out. It is so humid out. It's hopefully going to be the last week of it, but yeah, I think that's part of the reason it's been a little hard to stream lately, is I just haven't been getting any sleep. And it's not all stress related. Some of it is. Some of it is. We'll get into that. But a lot of it's just, it's too hot. I can't sleep when it's this hot out. And my AC, I think, is busted. My poor wall unit. Like, it's blowing air, but it's not blowing it very hard. It seems like it's cold, but it does not do the job. I have not even taken a bite now. There we go. Nice and soft. I always like soft cookies. Soft chocolate chip. I don't like the ones that are more like biscuits, right? Like eating a biscotti. But yeah, it's been too hot. We've got a little room fan now. So basically, It's like a chain of events, right? I got my AC trying to blow the cold air in, but it doesn't get very far in. So the fan is pushing it the rest of the way. It's a 2-fan job to cover this entire garage. But it's doing it. It's getting the job done. Oh god, I got chocolate all over my fingers. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. That's just how things are. But yeah, as I was saying, I just haven't been able to get any sleep. It's so bad I ended up calling out on Sunday, which I shouldn't do. But you know what? I haven't done that for probably the longest stretch of time in a while. Like, I don't take vacations. So I kind of make up for it by like calling out once every couple of months. You know, just get that work burnout and just you know, just the sleep schedule's not fitting. I was working on my own stuff. You know, all kinds of things can happen. But yeah, so I ended up calling out, and it was just there's no way I could do it. I got like 2 hours of sleep because it's so hot in my room. Hope I don't accidentally eat that spider. It's so small it would be. It's not even as big as the chocolate chips in this thing. I wouldn't even notice. Good cookie though. But yeah. And then you know, on top of that, a lot of other projects and stuff that I've been working on. I've been trying to learn Blender. There are some tools that are not meant to be named. They can export characters from FF14 to Blender. And that's been a mess. But you know, it's been a good learning experience. And just learning how meshes work and rigging and all of that. I haven't been able to use Rigify on any of them yet. I haven't been able to do like all the pre-setup for them. Like, the characters are rigged, but it's using the same that like a G-pose would use, right? So it's very basic, very bendy bones. Most of the bones are parented, but they're not connected. So like, you can't just like turn on Rigify and have it automatically set everything. And then on top of that, all the meshes are separated, which makes sense, right? And everyone's going to have like different heads and different body, you know, different torsos, that bust size. Where's the butt slider? Make the butt its separate mesh. But yeah, when you import using the tools, like all of those are sliced up, and you can merge them together. But like, that also affects like trying to use Rigify and all of this other stuff. So yeah, so Blender, I mean, it's been a learning experience. I feel like I'm making good progress. As always. Hey Ginkgo, how's it going? It's a night. That's why we're here. But that's okay. You know what? Got this delicious cookie. Got my soda. Got y'all. We're gonna make the best of the rest of this Monday. Oh, but yeah, it's just been staring at Blender for large stretches of time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like learning those things. I get absorbed into it, but then, you know, it comes time to render things, and I just kind of have to like sit and stare at the wall because I can't do anything else whenever it's rendering. But yeah, there's still a long way to go. I want to try cleaning up these rigs, learning how to do it myself, make sure that I can like use everything that's imported in the way that is properly meant to, like all of the models you can download and stuff. But it's coming along. But yeah, right now is just trying to figure out anything and everything that I can do to keep myself occupied. Learn new skills. Yeah, the other thing, and it might affect streams a little bit and coming up in the near future. We'll see. I'm not super hopeful, but you know, all we can do is all we can do is just like let time write it out. But I got the notice in my email this morning that my student loan interest is no longer going to be 0%. I still don't have to make payments, but the interest is going to be running up. So that's a problem. That's a big problem. So yeah, you know, that's not good. Just thought that was all taken care of, but you know, 2024 manages to hit us all like a hammer, right? But yeah, so it might affect streams, it might not. As always, support the channel, like, subscribe. But I'll be honest, it's probably not the kind of thing that's just going to turn around in a month for us here. Yeah. So in terms of the streams, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that we continue on. This is still what I want to do. This is still like my main motivation. It lets me do things creatively and entertain y'all as best as possible, but also bills are bills. So I'll probably have to look at either more hours, picking up a second job. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how that's going to affect things. The future is uncertain. All we can do is just wait and see. But yeah, that's kind of like the big thing. You know, it's kind of a shitty year. If we're being honest, it's a pretty shitty year. But we're gonna ride it out. And as long as I'm still streaming here, I'm hoping that we're gonna be, you know, doing our usual thing, playing some games, playing some guitar, goofing off, finishing Final Fantasy X eventually. I was gonna do that, but I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm in the mood for like a big story game tonight. But you know, we got the rest of the week. Kind of a weird week. Usually I'm like struggling to figure out what we're gonna do that day. But you know me, I don't like to do the same game or the same type of stream too many times in a row. So, you know, most weeks like, man, do I really want to do FF10 again? I enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I'm loving the game. But, you know, in terms of the algo gods and Google and all of that, it can always be a little tricky doing the same thing too much. But this week, man, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But you know, we always have horses. When all else fails, we've always got the horses. I got my pity, my extra pity for Kita-san. That was really exciting. And she's 2 stars now, which I'm pretty happy with. But yeah, the new account's going well. It's pretty much back to where it was before we did all those re-rolls on stream. So it really wasn't too bad. Your fave kind of stream to do? I mean, I don't know if I've got a favorite. Because like, in my mind, like, if I don't enjoy it, I wouldn't be streaming it, right? So like, I enjoy them all in some way. I think like the ones where I feel like I can just kind of like cut loose and do more of like the standard VTuber thing are probably my guitar streams. But the problem with those is like, I can't go super long on them. There's a lot of things I need to practice more. But I do like the guitar streams. I really miss like hardcore rating in FF14. Like FF14 still probably my favorite game, but I don't know, it's been a little bit of a slow period since I'm not doing like the grind set anymore, right? But yeah, like I said, I mean, it's kind of like they all have their own charms. I'd like to do more of these kind of things though. We don't really do a whole lot of just chatting streams. I see it on Blue Sky every now and then, where it's like, someone will ask if people really like just chatting streams, and I see a lot of fans and other VTubers like talking about how much they like just chatting, but we don't really do them too much. I'd like to do them more. It's more of just like, just chatting's kind of difficult if you don't have a lot of people chatting. So, you know, thanks for asking questions. thanks for doing your part. But But yeah, if we get keep growing the channel and keep having a lot of people kind of hopping in and saying hi and that kind of thing, yeah, we can do more of those. Same with like the story time streams. I like doing the story time stuff too. I need to find some nice nice public domain like poems and short stories and stuff. Maybe we can do one of those. It's been a long time. I've always been told that people like my voice. I don't know why. I don't know what you see in this Ozarkian accent of mine. But yeah, that was one of the big things when I first started VTubing, is I'd had all these comments on YouTube about people liking my voice. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll do some like ASMR storytime stuff. Those are kind of fun. It's just, you have to be kind of careful with licenses and all of that. So you gotta find things that are in the public domain and all of that. And yeah, maybe we'll do some Poe or something like that. Maybe for Halloween and stuff this year. Like the only thing I've been reading lately has been so yeah, like I said, Blender rendering takes a long time, so I broke out the old Kindle. This thing's probably, God, it's got to be 10 or 12 years old. It's a pretty early generation Kindle, but it's loaded with books, and the thing's still going strong. But yeah, I started reading Crime and Punishment. I don't know, working at a bookstore, I try to have a good, I don't know, a good field of knowledge, so to speak. And yeah, I really liked some of like the classic Russian writers. And yeah, I started reading Dostoevsky, and I really like it. I enjoy it. I tried reading some Nabokov first, but I don't know if it was my translation that I was reading or what. It was kind of hard to read. It was very, very purple prosy, and not in a good way, right? But Crime and Punishment, this one I think is just like the Barnes & Noble Classics edition or something. And yeah, the translation's really good. It's pretty decently easy to read. I'm not super far into it, but yeah, I figure that'll keep me occupied while I'm sitting waiting for animations to go off for like 3 hours at a time, right? Damn, this is a big cookie. I'm usually not a sweets person. I don't know, I was just really craving a convenience store cookie. They're always really good. But they're also very big. Anyways, yeah, I'm liking it. I feel like I remember reading some of his stuff in college. I feel like we had to study a little bit of him. I read some excerpts and stuff. And yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it's always a good idea to like try and read things maybe a little bit outside the scope of what you normally do when you've got the time. I know it's hard to find time for a lot of people, which is probably why there was a very long time when people weren't reading. I feel like it's turning around though, thanks to Book Talk and all of that. It seems like people are picking it back up. And yeah, a lot of it's romantasy. It's a lot of Sarah J. Maas. It's a lot of Fourth Wing. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Whatever gets people back into it, and then maybe they'll try some new things. I don't know what it was this past week, but I had a lot of people at the store coming in and buying their first ever copy of Lord of the Rings. And I think that's always really special. Even like two of my favorite customers, like they always come in and they always buy like a stack of books, and they can't be very old. They've got to be like, I don't know, they're maybe 19 or 20. Like they're like barely high school kids, and they're buying like a lot of the classics. And I got them a copy of like some old Coleridge poems and stuff, and they really like it. Like they genuinely love reading. But they came in this past weekend, and it's a couple, and the dude was just put the box set of Lord of the Rings down on the table. I'm like, dude, is this your first time reading this after all of the stuff that you've gotten over the years? this is your first time reading Lord of the Rings? He's like, yeah, man, I've never read it. His girlfriend was even like, we tried watching the movies, but I think it's time for him to jump into the books. And yeah, I don't know. There's just something. There's a few books out there where when you have people buying them for the first time, you know it's kind of like a special life event. You know, it's kind of weird to say that about books, I think. But it's like your first experience with something like really culturally important. And I think Lord of the Rings definitely qualifies. I don't know, we get them a lot during Christmas too. Like parents buying their kids their first copies and stuff. And like you can kind of feel it when they put it on the counter, right? Like there's just kind of like this air of importance around it. And there's not many books that I think are kind of like that. There's a lot of classics that are really good. And like you can kind of talk about the importance of them. But they don't have that same weight that like Lord of the Rings has, right? I don't think there's too many books that you can really kind of compare that to. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Dune, maybe Discworld. It's tough. It's tough. We're like 23 minutes in and I'm still working on this cookie. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is either. It's just all of a sudden this past week, a whole lot of people picking it up. I'm not on TikTok or anything, so I don't know if it's like making the rounds or like people are just discussing it more or like what the deal is. But yeah, usually just like Christmas time and scattered throughout the year. But yeah, a lot of that one going out this past week. Oh god, my hands are sticky, you know. Too much chocolate. Okay. All right. Done. I conquered it. I conquered this thing. Like this thing was the size of my hand. I don't know what got into me. I don't know why I was craving one of those. But yeah, you know, come to think of it, I just did another reread of them the other day, and watched all the movies, and binge watched all the extended versions. I mean, we could do another watch along if you really wanted to, but yeah, just kind of shows you how my time's been. But yeah, you know, I forgot a lot about it. I forgot a lot about the movies, and I forgot a lot about the books. Like the movies in particular, I kind of forgot like how bad the first half of Fellowship of the Fellowship of the Ring is. And I know that's going to be kind of like blasphemy. Like as someone that's very involved in movies, right? The first half of Fellowship of the Ring, it moves so fast. It moves so fast, and you don't really have a chance to really kind of get to know everybody or really to care about any of them or anything like that. It's very saccharine. You know, the music does a lot of heavy lifting. A lot of heavy lifting in the first half. And then once you get to the Council of Elrond and it starts to slow down, then the movie gets really, really good. It's like a complete 180. But yeah, maybe it's because I was reading the books at the same time. Because like the Council of Elrond is so far into the first book. You kind of forget about it, but like you get to know all of the Brandywines and everything going on in the Shire before they even get to Brill, and like the time between Brill and the council is like there's a lot of mountains that they're trying to like go off the path on. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on. They're just completely not in the movies. For good reason. I don't need Tom Bombadil singing songs the entire time. There's a lot of songs. There are a lot of songs. But it does make the movie feel very scattered at first. But, you know, once you get to the council, and then obviously the next two movies are just classics. They're fantastic. I feel like they still hold up in terms of visuals and all that and the story. So highly recommended. If you haven't watched them in a while, go back and watch Lord of the Rings. Turn off your dear K-pop demon hunters or whatever it is that you're watching nowadays, and go watch some Lord of the Rings. But there's I don't know, there hasn't really been a whole lot else that I've had a chance to really check out a whole lot lately. It's really just been horses. I need more Uma Musume. That's kind of been my life. I can't find Cinderella Grey on streaming anywhere. And I guess what is it, Beginning of a New Era? It's either Beginning of a New Era or Road to the Top. I think it's Beginning of a New Era. One of the movies is available as a four episode OVA on YouTube, and the other one is not available anywhere. And of course, it's the one that's supposed to be really, really good animation-wise that is not available anywhere. I thought it was on Crunchyroll. It is not. And I need my fix. I need my horses fix. Maybe this will become an Uma stream. Who knows? But yeah, like, there's really not a whole lot of anime. Really just shows in general that I can think of that have just really kind of hooked me. Strange New Worlds is back, but it like just started. It just came back, so like there's only like 2 episodes in the new season. But that'll be something to watch. But there's really nothing that I can think of that I just want to binge. Like I renewed Crunchyroll just so I could watch horses. And I was just going through like the popular titles and stuff, and man, it's dire. It's dire out there. It's so many isekai and being reborn as a villainess. And I don't know, I've heard the one that's where she's an office worker who's just trying to clock out on time. I heard that one's pretty good. But everything else is just... We need something new. We need something new out there. There was really nothing that I was looking at that was just like, wow, I don't know why I renewed this subscription. It's pretty bad. You know, until the Demon Slayer movies come out, there's really not a whole lot that I'm really anticipating. I guess Witch Hat Atelier, but I don't know when that's supposed to start. I know Panty and Stocking just came out, but that's Amazon. I don't have Amazon. And it's Panty and Stocking with Garterbell. It's fine. You know what you're getting into with that one. I'm sure I'll like it. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot else until the Infinity Castle, which I am hyped about. Gonna get me my secretary as a bunny girl. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, well, I don't know if it's my secretary is a bunny girl. Let me see. Anime. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl. Would that be the name of it? If it's Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl, watch it. Whatever people think of Rascal going into it, it is 100% not that. It hit me hard. It hits you way harder than it has any right to do. And it really does not fall into any anime tropes that you would expect from the title. Like, I can't really say anything else about it without giving it away. But it's a lot more serious than the name suggests. Now, if it's another bunny girl anime, then I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't taken a look at the taking a look at anything that didn't end up being an isekai in a while. But yeah, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl is fantastic. A+. It had the same kind of effect, I think, that Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun had on me. Like, I held off on watching Monthly Girls for so long. For so long. It's like, oh... the twee anime romance. Girl falls in love with mangaka. It felt very... I don't know. It just felt very trope heavy. And then people who have watched Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun know what I'm talking about. It is one of the single funniest shows I think I have ever watched. Not just anime, just shows. It is so good. It is so good. It is a show where the protagonist girl, who starts off with a romance, is the only character who is not an idiot. It is so good. I need to do a rewatch of it. Come to think of it, we've got the manga at the store. I need to maybe pick that up. Yeah, it's maybe if I get really bored, I can hop back into that one. Yeah, but that's all in the past. What about the future? I gotta say though, I did finally watch the trailer for the Infinite Castle. Good God, I am hyped. I mean, how long has this been in the works? How long have we been waiting? It's been close to a decade, hasn't it? Like, when did Demon Slayer? Let's take a look. When did Demon Slayer come out? Demon Slayer anime debut. First season premiered April 2019. So we are over 6 years now. Yeah, you know, I guess that's decent time. But yeah. You know, one of the last conversations I had with my old assistant manager before he left to go pursue other things is, aside from our Final Fantasy chats, because he was another Final Fantasy friend, he was also a big Demon Slayer fan. It's like the only anime that he watches, because, you know, he's kind of like me in the regards that he doesn't like the really tropey stuff. He's not big on like the fan service and that kind of thing, and I feel like a lot of anime is like that now, because all the people that grew up watching anime are now making anime. It's the Simpsons effect, right? And yeah, he doesn't watch a whole lot of anime because it's too tropey, but he is a big Demon Slayer fan. And yeah, one of the last things that he did before he left is I went to him and was like, dude, you gotta catch up. You gotta catch up to this show. And finally, like, on one of his last days, like, I finally watched the finale of that last season. And good God, I am hyped. It spreads so fast. I don't know, it's so cinematic. I think that's why I like it so much. It's a lot more cinematic. Not just like, oh, bright colors and that kind of thing, but just like the cinematography and the thought that goes into the structure of filmmaking in it. It's really on a whole nother level. I mean, UFO tables, or UFO table, I don't know how they pronounce it, but they've always been like really good. But there's just something about how they've been treating this that that does feel more like watching a series of good movies. So yeah, after watching that trailer for the Infinite Castle, I'm ready. I'm scared. I'm actually kind of terrified about everything that's going to happen. I have not read any of the manga. I'm surprised that I've managed to make it this far without spoiling myself on anything. I think there's like One thing that happens to a character that I have accidentally spoiled myself on, but that is it. That is it. I don't know how in the age of social media I've managed to go this long without spoiling something. But yeah, I'm going into it completely blind, and I'm ready. I am extremely ready. There's really not a whole lot that I feel like I care about spoilers on. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, you know, oh, a Final Fantasy mentions that they're going to Charlie, and oh no, that's a spoil. How dare you? How dare you spoil the game for me? When it was like, you know, in the opening trailer, right? I'm not, like, I think people take spoilers way too seriously and way too far in a lot of cases. But Demon Slayer is one of them. And strangely, FF16, I have not spoiled myself on. I don't really know a whole lot about what goes on in it. A little bit of the opening, but I haven't watched any streams or anything like that. It's really whatever is on the magic cards I know about, which I guess that's kind of a big spoiler. I know who the final boss is. I guess that's technically a spoiler. But you know, it's the end boss of a Final Fantasy game. You're going to be fighting a god. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Like, is it really a spoiler? Is it really, when you think about it? But aside from that, yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about the story. You know, it does get kind of hard sometimes, because like I'll watch a lot of like my favorite VTubers playing some games that I really want to play, but I don't want to spoil myself on. But yeah, somehow I've avoided all FF16 streams. Do we get to see Hog? I know that was like a big thing making the rounds in the streamer circuit, was you got to censor the Hog. I don't know if it's true. I guess that's something we'll have to deal with when we get there. When we get there on our complete playthrough. But you know, that's like 5 years away at this point, so it's fine. We'll have forgotten all about it by then. Oh, but yeah, there are a couple, like I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of streamers play like Yakuza, because I had like wanting to play those games at some point. We did a little bit of Yakuza 0 way back in the day, and then it just kind of dropped off. I've still got it, and Infinite Wealth, or Like a Dragon. Yeah, I think it's Like a Dragon. Still installed on my computer, but I haven't had a chance to like open them up or anything like that since then. Maybe once I finish my like off-stream Death Stranding playthrough, maybe that's what I'll do. Pick up Like a Dragon. I don't know. I just need it's always good to have some games, I think, that are just for you. I know other streamers have talked about it quite a bit too. But it is important. You know, you gotta be able to wind down and be able to just kind of like enjoy a game without feeling like you have to constantly react and chat and that kind of thing. Which isn't to say that like any of the reactions or anything like that are fake. I'm sure some streamers do play it up quite a bit. At least in my case, they're pretty natural reactions. But I'm pretty low key to begin with, so you know, take that as you will. But still, like just being able to play it without having to worry about talking and commentary the entire time is it's kind of important. It helps you kind of ease out. So yeah, maybe Like a Dragon will be the next one for me. I am still enjoying Death Stranding though. I need to pick it back up. I kind of got sidetracked by horses and Blender Blender stuff. But I am really enjoying it. I haven't really cared too much about spoilers or anything like that for like that or Death Stranding 2. I've been enjoying all of the reactions to Pecora in being in the game. That's how you know you've made it. Kojima has noticed you. It's just, man, Kojima is such a... He's had such an interesting path. I don't know. There's only a couple of like actual game devs that I think you could consider like Rockstar status. You basically got like Yoshi P and Kojima, and that's really about it. You know, you've got a lot of legends, like you've got Romero and a lot of them, but they're just kind of like doing their thing, and they just like show up to conventions and hang around in the background. You know, you're not gonna get like a huge mob like Yoshi P or Kojima would. But man, Kojima, he's living that Rockstar life, man. He really is. I don't know if you follow him on socials. I've got him on Blue Sky. Like every other post is he's like hanging out with more celebrities, or he's like in some other city in a far off world. Just like checking out the views, checking out the museums, eating really fancy dinners. Hope one day when I grow up, I can be as cool as Hideo Kojima. If only it were so easy, right? But I gotta say, like, I've never actually played a Kojima game. I think I played like a little bit of the original Metal Gear Solid when it first came out, way back on the PS1 or whatever, right? It was like such a big deal about putting in like the save thing into the second slot. Yeah, I've never actually played one, and like now that I've played Death Stranding, like I get it. It's one of those things that like you don't really get until you've played it. And then all of a sudden, like all of the buzz around him and all of the Rockstar status about him, like it suddenly makes a lot of sense. Because the dude, he really is almost more like a filmmaker. He's a filmmaker that's making video games. There's really just no other way to describe it. Where he's a video game dev that's trying to make a movie. I don't know. There's just no other way to describe it. But he very much is an auteur, right? That would say in the film world, right? There's really nothing else that I think I've played that can really compare it to. And, does that mean it's the best game in the world? No, I mean, it's very good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the first time I ever played Shadowbringers. You know, it doesn't have that kind of like hype moment, right? But it is very nice to really sit down and just really appreciate the work, right? And that's probably the best way to describe it. It's not the kind of game that you go into for big reactions and big hype moments and big set pieces and action and all of that. It's very much a game that you appreciate. It's the kind of thing you sit down and you really kind of want to think about. You want to think about and you want to enjoy your time in its world. Is probably that's probably how I would describe it. You want, it's not even just like a level of immersion, right? I think all video games have some type of immersion that they need in it. But it's not like, jumping into Eorzea or World of Warcraft or something and like living your life as your little cartoon character, right? It's more, it's more about, how do I describe it? Yeah, I guess just sitting and appreciating the world that you're in is really what it's all about. But it's not quite the same as immersion. There's no other way that I can describe it, right? But yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to get around to it. I don't know. I've got like this whole backlog of games, not just on Steam, but like Epic. I don't like Epic all that much, just in general. But they do give the free games out every Thursday, and then they do the big sales where they do the mystery games. And I got it as they gave it out for free, like during one Christmas or something like that. And yeah, I've got a whole lot of games like that. What else do I have on here? Let me just load it up. Come on, launcher. Take your sweet time. I feel like I've got a lot of good stuff. I know GTA 5's on here. Nope, my bad. And that is something that I do want to play on stream. I don't know. Maybe I need to get in touch with some VTubers on like Blue Sky or something. Because I've held off for the simple reason that if we're going to stream it, I feel like GTA 5 is one of those things where it's just better in the multiplayer. Right? Like Hollow GTA was in that kind of thing. I mean, I guess I could just get in and play it, but I don't think that's quite as fun, both to play and as a viewer. Now that I think everyone in the world but me has experienced GTA 5, I don't know how many people would actually be interested in like a main story playthrough, right? If there even really is a main story, or just faffing about in the city on my own, right? You really need to have a whole group with you. But I would definitely be down for some collabs. I would highly enjoy that. And yeah, I don't know if there ends up being another VTuber server or something like that go up, I might hop into it. Yeah, I think that's a big one. I've got Ark on here. Ark might be kind of fun just to do on our own, but it's also huge. It's like 120 gigs or something like that, which is a lot, but especially for an older game like that. So that's been the big hold up on that one. Among Us, again, needs some collabs. I guess I can do some replays of BioShock. Let's see. Got Control on here. I tried playing Control once. I didn't care for it. I don't know. It's something about the visuals on it. It almost made me motion sick, which I do not get motion sickness from video games. It was very weird. I tried playing it once, and I did not care for it. But I don't know. Maybe we can go and revisit that. Obviously, Death Stranding. God, I can become a Destiny 2 streamer, I guess. That's another one that's like 120 gigs. I actually have been in the process of downloading it just to try something new whenever I'm like having the itch to whenever I got the itch to try and do an FPS or something. And yeah, I ended up stopping the install. Just too large. Way too large. Fallout New Vegas might be kind of fun. Man, I've got some good things on here. I've got some good stuff in this account. I need to find an excuse to play them. Yeah, Fallout New Vegas might be kind of fun. Maybe we can do that when Season 2 comes up. That's still like a year out. But with my stream schedule, who knows? But I did really enjoy the show, and I could use that as an excuse. Yeah, a lot of these I feel like are just they're games that I need collabs. They're very much collab games. If you would like to collab, DM me. That's really what it comes down to. I'm very bad about reaching out. I don't know. The way that I see it, and this kind of goes into some things. I'm sure you guys saw the news today, right? I'm not going to go into it. I'm not not a drama tuber. That's not what we do here. But I think it does kind of tie into this a little bit when it comes to like collabs and that kind of thing. I feel like there's a certain segment of VTubing, not even a certain segment, I think it is a large part of VTubing, where a lot of the streamers, their primary audience is other streamers, right? That's not how it should be. You guys in chat, you're my audience. You are the ones I am making content for. I am not I do not care about appealing to other streamers or anything like that. And and I think a lot of it is because of collabs and stuff. Like, they want to appeal to other streamers because they want to get those collabs in, and they want to build that community and make those connections and stuff. But it does end up being like it feeds into itself, right? And I think streamers being the primary audience for other streamers, with regular chat just kind of being a byproduct of it, ends up being like the end result of a lot of that cycle, right? And I don't think that's how it should be. So yeah, I think that's why I don't really do a whole lot of collabs or anything like that. It's not that I'm opposed to doing it. I like networking. I like making friends. I like hanging out with other people and playing video games with each other and that kind of thing, and maybe eventually do some stuff in real life. But to put it as bluntly as I can, I have worked directly under people who are household names. Not VTubing household names. I mean, you could ask random people in America if they know this person, and they will know them. So the fame and notoriety of other streamers, I do not give two shits about it. I really don't. I've been almost fired by more important people than that. So yeah. So I think that kind of puts some people off, because they only want to collab and they only want to quote unquote network because they want to get that fame and notoriety, right? They're trying to boost themselves. I just want to play video games, man. I just want to hang out and meet new people and play some video games. That's really what it comes down to. That's why I don't stream on Twitch. I don't care about the VTubing community. That doesn't mean that I'm like gonna be mean to them or like don't take part in discussions about what's going on in the VTuber world. I mean, at the end of the day, as a YouTube partner, this is a business, right? Like, I do have to go into it with a certain work ethic in mind. But my goals with collabs and meeting new people are very, very different than I think a lot of other people are. And I think what that eventually leads to is that there are a lot of cases, and I've talked about this multiple times before, multiple times before, that there are a lot of people who are doing this and finding out about a lot of things in the entertainment industry despite having no experience in the entertainment industry. And that leads to a lot of problems. It leads to a lot of issues because the entertainment industry, everyone talks about idol culture and stuff. But you look at like HoloLive, it's run more like a studio than anything. And I say this with experience. That's why they're doing so well, is they actually treat it like an entertainment studio. Not just like idols, but like movies, right? Like, they're very good at it. They're making their little TV shows for all of us to watch, right? But there are always a lot of these other companies and a lot of these other groups constantly popping up. And it's always under the guise of networking and boosting numbers, and people are so desperate to do that that the lack of experience really ends up hurting them in the end, right? It doesn't matter how big they are. Eventually, if they've never experienced this industry before, like, there's going to be hard. And yeah, that's why I'm always very hesitant when it comes to these new corpos and stuff, because it's not easy to build an entire studio. No other word to describe it, but that's essentially what they have to do. Is they have to basically build an entire studio or a station, if you will. Basically building their own TV station. It is not cheap. It is not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of legalities. And a lot of things that most people who are just like, I'm a big streamer, they don't know much about. And then it always comes back around eventually, right? I think time and time again we've seen this. And, it has happened once again. Obviously, I hope everyone affected by it does land on their feet. In a lot of cases, I don't think it's always necessarily the talent's problem, fault. It is definitely their problem now that they got a lot of paperwork to do now. It's not always their fault, because the people at the top, the people running these companies, there's really no other way to describe them other than grifters, because that's pretty much what they are. They have no entertainment industry experience. They have no television or film or really any kind of experience like that, and they're just going to start up a corpo. It ain't that easy. It's never been that easy. I don't know why so many people think that they can just do it, right? So, as always, be cautious, read your contracts, do your due diligence, but yeah, that's really all I could say about the current situation. But it on the streamer side of it, in terms of talent, I think it's like I said, it's not their fault when something like this happens on the top end, right? It wasn't their fault. It was the owners, right? But I think for talent, it does show up in other ways, in ways like how to deal with chat and PR. And again, making sure that your audience is not other streamers. I really cannot emphasize it enough. That should not be your primary concern. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of cases where people just aren't built for it. They aren't built to handle a lot of the stress that comes with that, with the talent side of things and what the talents have to deal with. Most of your big streamers, that's not a problem at this point. It's the money things on the other side that ends up being the issue. But a lot of the smaller VTubers that I see, especially on Blue Sky and stuff, do run into those issues and worry about the numbers and don't know how to deal with the stress or comments and feed into the drama of the industry, right? I feel like it also ends up in a situation with fans not really understanding a lot of how the entertainment industry works, because they make a lot of assumptions and that kind of things. But I feel like we've talked about some of those things before, so I won't go too much into it. But yeah. Oh yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, I never finished Kina. Back to video games. How's it going, guys? Ooh, I've been staring at this epic library for like 15 minutes and not really absorbing any of it. But yeah, I really liked Kina. I feel like I was having some issues controlling it. I think my controller was going out at the time. Yeah, I really liked Kina. Sounds like I skipped a lot of stupid drama. Well, you'll find out if you watch VTubers. It's pretty big news. It's pretty big. Basically, the largest corpo on Twitch, it's done for. It's gone. There's no coming back from it. They screwed over the largest VTuber on really just the largest VTuber, period. So, yeah. But, sure enough. Anyway, video games. Oh, Night in the Woods. Ooh, I've seen a lot of people play Night in the Woods. Maybe that might be kind of fun. That might be kind of fun. The only thing that I really know about Night in the Woods is from Polka's playthrough, which she went full on Public Enemy with us. River City Girls. I finally get the chance to play that. That was a free giveaway a few weeks back. Surprised it took them that long. I wish Saints Row. I wish I could play that on stream. Yeah. Was not really seeing a whole lot that's like stream worthy. I can always do another Tomb Raider playthrough. I love the new Tomb Raider trilogy. I don't know how that would play with the YouTube censors. At least the first one. The next two, I mean, they're still kind of... Hey, Pringle. The next two are still kind of iffy. But they're not quite as gory, right? But I do love some Tomb Raider. It's been a while. I used to play through those like once a year. And it's about time. It's about time. Yeah, maybe we'll hop into those in stream. We make a lot of plans. You know me. I don't really make a whole lot of like schedules or anything like that. So we just kind of do things whenever. I literally get out of bed that day and I decide, you know what? I think I'll stream today. I'm in the mood for this. Let's do it. I mean, I do try doing the 3 streams a week at minimum. I try to make sure that you guys know that I'm going to be streaming most days. But in terms of like what and when, who knows? But it's always good to just kind of like spitball these things. You gotta come up with ideas. That's the thing with streaming, is it's just like constantly, especially if you're like a creative person, you don't want to do the same thing all too much. You want to try something different every now and then. That's like the big project that I've been working on is my creative outlet. Hopefully you'll see it one day. Hopefully. We've been talking about it long enough, but God, I have to actually draw some things this time. It's not going well. It's not going well. I'm not an artist. But yeah. The scripts are made. Things are happening. Yeah. We'll just put it that way. All right. Well, that being said, I feel like that's been enough for one night. Thanks for keeping me occupied. I don't know. It's just been really late hours. Just the past 2 weeks. Ever since this heat dome or whatever it has hit. It's just been bad. It's just been real bad. And the thing is, like, I like summer. I like summer more than winter, personally. But it does make it hard to sleep when your AC doesn't work. I had this idea to set up a camera up and just stream playing some music for a while now. But I'm scared. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's there's a lot of streamers out there that are just music focused. You know, there's some that go like really deep into the actual mastering and making a whole song and that kind of thing. But like, I don't know, when I do my guitar streams, I just plug the thing in and start playing covers. I just play a bunch of bad Metallica covers and maybe Iron Maiden if I'm feeling spicy, and I don't know, just have some fun with it. You know, my thought process is you won't know until you actually make it. You won't know until you've hit play. I feel like as long as you're having fun and putting it out there, someone will like it. Maybe you won't be like the next The Do. You might not be Rashad E.B., but someone out there will probably like it. But you won't know if you don't make it. So yeah, go out there, hit play. And then, you know what? Like for me, is just, it's practice as much as anything. Like, if I can turn my practice into content, then like, hey, kill two birds with one stone. Why not? Especially in the VTubing sphere, like, I don't know, we mention it like almost every time I do one of my music streams, but there's just really not a whole lot of guitar VTubers out there. There's OB Katy Cat, there's Patra, and then there's me. Patra hasn't done it in a while. I miss her guitar streams because she also plays ESP like I do. But you know, she's a bigger VTuber, so she probably has a lot more licensing things that she has to deal with and doesn't want to get claimed. I just deal with it as I can, right? I'm in a constant war with Latin Author Preferred, who's not real, by the way. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot of others. I'll see a couple streamers every now and then that are like a beginning acoustic guitar or something like that. And they're just kind of like strumming along and playing. And like, I think that's great. Like, by all means, you know, you got to start somewhere. I didn't start off playing Master of Puppets. So, you know, I was like every other guy playing Smoke on the Water and, you know, Crazy Train and stuff. Do the easy things. But there aren't a whole lot of, like, I would say intermediate and above VTubers. Maybe it's just because I think a lot of, like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the guitar community like to see your hands. Maybe that could be part of it. You know, so they can kind of follow along. I mean, I've done that a lot of times too. You know, watching the official music video for A Long Fall, and I'm like trying to take notes on where Soken's hands are at any given time, right? But yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of like just a heavy metal and like intermediate and above level guitarists in the VTuber sphere. So I don't know. If anything else, I feel like I'm filling that niche. Maybe badly, not great. But you know, I'm beyond strumming a few chords at least, so that's something. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, should I plug it in? I don't really have anything else going on, I guess. Nah, I should probably try and sleep at some point, but I don't know. Maybe sometime this week if we can squeeze it in. I don't know. I feel like between the whole student loans thing and my new work schedule, some of my future streams are just going to be more unhinged than usual because they're going to be even bigger stress relievers than they have been. Because a lot of times for me, streaming, it is kind of a stress reliever. It lets me, I don't know, I feel like I'm accomplishing something after a good stream. I feel like I got some work done. I feel like I helped the channel, right? And it's different than like the normal get home from work accomplishment, right? Because this is me doing this on my own. This is me being my own boss. So it feels different than like my retail shifts, right? I actually feel accomplished. But yeah, I think that is kind of important, but it's going to be an even bigger stress reliever in the future. I'm not looking forward to the next few months. We'll just have to wait and see how it is. And it's not like I have like a ton of student loans. It's just I haven't really been able to use the degree. Right? Don't graduate when everything shuts down due to a global issue, right? That was 2 years of job applications just gone, just wiped out in prime job application hunting time. Just absolutely gone. But it's not like I have a whole lot. I mean, it's about as much as like a decently cheap new car, right? I don't know. It's below 20, but it's above 10. We'll just put it that way. You know, I see people that like graduated from law school and stuff with like hundreds of thousands. It's not that bad. But you know, when the only jobs in your area are retail and no one outside your area is hiring, then you know that becomes kind of expensive, right? It's more than I can afford. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it is. It wouldn't be so bad if I could just I was telling my coworkers the other day, like I would kill for a cubicle. I am made for a computer. I am made to sit and stare at the screen. It's why we are doing this. It was my destiny. It was my calling. Sitting and playing video games, sitting and typing a bunch of things on the internet. It's all the same to me. I'm made for those jobs. Feel the same way. Yeah, man, it's rough. It's real rough. And like, it's not like I regret getting it. I'm the first one in my family to get a degree. But it just really sucks when like your area doesn't have anything in your industry, but no one outside of your area will let you relocate, right? Like, it's not like I can just move up on my own and hope I get a job after I get up there, right? So, yeah. I mean, preferably we just keep growing the channel, and it's not like the bar is very high. I've always said my bar for this channel and what I would consider being a successful streamer is to make what I currently make at my retail job. It is not a high bar. It is not a high bar at all, friends. But you know, it is hard to get to that point. You know, YouTube, the ad rev is nothing. It is absolutely nothing. It's basically nothing without our viewers, because yeah, because you guys are the ones that help us out. But yeah, it can feel insurmountable at times. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I haven't worked 40-hour customer service jobs before. I mean, I've done it all. I've done the retail, I've done customer service, I've done tour guiding, you name it. So it's not like I'm opposed to doing it. If I have to do it, I'll do it. Like, that's not the issue. It's just doing that means it would hurt this. And I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can to not affect the streams. Because ultimately, the streaming is my priority. You guys are my priority. This channel is my priority. I want to be able to entertain you guys and make silly things and play video games and just do whatever comes to mind without having to worry about the customers, without having to worry about a boss or anything along those lines, right? It's work that is my own. And yeah, if I have to go back to 40 hours a week in retail, so be it. It'll pay the bills. But obviously that's not what I hope the rest of my life will be, right? We're trying to build something here, and I feel like we're doing really good. I feel like you guys have been coming to check out the channel, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope you're having a good time, because if you're not having a good time, I need to fix it. That's my job, right? Is to make sure you guys feel welcome and feel like you're having fun. But yeah. Anyways, that being said, on that note, I want to make sure that that we're going to be able to, you know, pick it up and start fresh in the morning. Well, let's be real. It's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning here. It's going to be in the afternoon at some point. But I want to make sure that we are going to be able to stream a little bit of Elite Dangerous at some point when the servers come up later on today, and check out the Panther Clipper. Is that yeah. Money might be tight, but I can afford the chunky boy. I can afford the big lad. I'm excited. And we haven't streamed Elite in a while. So that's going to be on the agenda for today at some point. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I can try hauling some colony stuff, but, you know, at the end of the day, colonies are still colonies. It's still a lot of hauling. But I think it's going to cut down a fair amount of it. But I do want to see what the hullaboo's about. So, yeah, that's going to be that. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here for tonight. We're going to go ahead and take it easy. But thanks for coming and listening to my late night rambles. I just couldn't sleep, man. So, you know, thank you for being here for me. Hopefully, I was here for you, whether you can't sleep, whether you're on EU time and just trying to kill some work hours. Whatever the case, I appreciate you all. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I don't know, watch Megan 2 or something. Have a good night. Bye-bye.